Denizen is unashamedly a political play in the sense that it deals with violence and the way violence is used for political and social change all across the world, not only in individual anti-state groups such as are here in Derry. And the welcome it received from Cregan Enterprises Limited, who hosted the production, and the fact that we were here in the Rathmore Centre. We had a marvellous rehearsal room, which I'll always be glad of, and the number B15 will stick with me forever because of that, the room we occupied. Great support from the staff here, great to be around the place, people coming and going, a nice feeling. So that all added to the, how would you say, the richness of the production and our experiences of it.
Well, I know Dave a long time, and I think Dave was aware of some of the work that I would be involved in terms of engaging with all different voices within the Cregan community, and also the fact that Cregan Enterprises is just not a physical building. It's about creating inclusion, it's about creating economic opportunities, it's about creating social provision, it's about the arts, it's about the environment, but also it also plays a very, very significant role in peace building. And Dave was aware of some of the work which I've been doing within the prisons, also in terms of community work, in terms of being in dialogue through quiet diplomacy work with those who would be viewed as dissident. And in conversation with Dave had obviously an idea about a play. We spoke about that, and we talked about how using the art form of a play, it may well be another way of actually engaging, telling that story in a way which maybe through normal sort of processes, and given the tensions that exist between particular groupings within local communities, people who obviously would be pro, obviously, the Good Friday Agreement, and those who would be opposed to the Good Friday Agreement. Sometimes it's very, very, very difficult to actually have that dialogue in a normal setting. So Dave had this idea that this could be done through play, and in that context, that's how I think Dave in his own creative mind obviously came up with developing the play. And part of that conversation with Dave was we also felt that it was important that plays of this particular nature need to be set where it means something, where it's dealing with reality, and in that context, that's why we began to talk about it, that its premiere should be within Cregan, it should be within the Rathmore Centre, and that was a first. And again, it was also cross-community. The fact is that we also engaged the services of Jonathan, again to get a wider perspective. So the play engaged with not only the local community, it was also cross-community. It was about building skills in the art. And in that context, the Cregan community was at the fore of that.
Productions like this only happen with the support of public bodies like Derry City Council and the Arts Council of Northern Ireland. So I personally and professionally am very grateful to them for their support. It's public money. This is public art, subsidised art, and it's great that we had that subsidy to put it on. It was matched by considerable public interest, box offices, good as well. So overall, that's one area of pleasure to note that the budgets all worked out.
Well, the Denizen production was an extremely important piece of theatre that was shown in the heart of a community. The fact is that the Cregan community hosted and was in partnership with Dave in the terms of the production of this particular play. It was also a challenging aspect to those who would be deemed to have a dissident voice within this particular community. So the play itself was actually well received in all of the performances here within the Cregan community. It was sold out. Indeed, we could have actually doubled the number of people who actually wanted to attend. On an artistic front, to do something very innovative, different,
particular forms of theatre, to have a very open production where even the security announcement at the start uses the phrase, "This is open and transparent," so that we have the backstage elements, the properties manager, the technicians, the stage manager, we have them all actually on the stage at the same time as the actors. That's a kind of a pleasure to me, to see the innards of a theatre production in front of people. Well, there's a splendid performance by the lead actor, Dermot. We were graced by having his experience and ability, and the core cast alongside him, John Duddy and Orla Mullen, more than contributed to it in all sorts of ways. And then that allows, when I look back on the total numbers of people who were involved, there's about 20 people who participated in some way in the production. And that's great, including, going from somebody of a top-end professional like Dermot down to emerging actors, school students like Shannon. So that's a very satisfying note for me as well.
First of the play was obviously a dissident speaking from the dock, and then we thought, wouldn't it be really creative if it could also be done in terms of the local courthouses. We wanted to take it beyond that. Art should not be just for the elite. It actually needs to be rooted within local communities, and in that context, I've seen the play as a very important process of inclusion. I also see the play as sending out a very important message in terms of peace building.
What better site to hold this august court
but in the public square of my home place.
Hear the blood that fills my brain in fibre.
Rush fresh to energise my daily life.
See me engineer a new form of strength.
And make a choice for a new beginning.
This is the end of my world. Take good heed.
Meet me the doer of the dreaded deed.
Yeah, but also put it in your pocket and not, if it's a fuck it, put it in your pocket.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. But great. No, that's it. It's lovely. But, and the use of the words against that, I proclaim a new republic.
It's the last thing on the scene. And it's sort of getting it going.
You know, it's manufactured, it's generated. It's not something you shoot for. It's something you make. Yeah, lovely. So that's good. That's great. All right, literally take 5. We're going to start from the top. You need to make sure you're ready, Kieran, right? Everything ready, all cameras working, everybody in place. Is that all right? Gary? Right. Do you want to do the last couple of lines of that stop surfing peddling free?
Let us cry new phrases, new money, wealth. Let us mint new currency that buys us justice for the girl, bright and shiny, sharp and shiny, bright. The bright growing girl on a bicycle that will remove the stern stabilizers that stop her from fully pedalling free through the grasping mire of austerity. The trees crowd over and block out the light. I carry the torch to further my way, and as it flickers and breezes and chills, I pull it tight close, not fearing its burden. The path beneath is rutted and gnarled with ancient roots to turn centuries past into bonds of resistance and dissent. It is the winding rebel's path I take to open a bond I will not forsake.
We found that the reaction which we got from those individuals who attended was this was a powerful play. Everyone talked about the performances of those who obviously played the key role. They were stunned by those performances. They also thought that the stage setup, the technical support all around the play was of a high standard. And again, coming from a community perspective, the fact that that was all provided by Craig Enterprises through the Hive Studio was also another indication. And we were saying to those who obviously helped put the play on in terms of funding and so forth, the importance of community art and the importance of investing in community art. I would suggest that the play was of significant importance, and the fact that it was challenging. Those who did attend, who would be, as I'm saying, viewed as dissident. Clearly felt, and talking to those particular people who attended, that for the first time that there was an understanding of what actually creates a dissenting voice. I was set in a context, and it was also a challenge to them. The fact is that there's many people in this community, maybe the vast majority of people in this society, feel that there's no justification for the continued use of violence, and the play obviously teased that all out in a way which was inclusive. The overall view that came back from the majority of people which I spoke to in all those particular events was the play was in essence an anti-war play. It was setting out a particular message that war is not always the answer.
Well, it's great that the production's over. Great in the sense of there's a kind of mixed feelings of sadness, in the sense of it's a high experience for the 3-4 weeks of the production and the tour, but great also that it's looked back on a success. 2 great performances here in the Rathmore Centre, 3 in the courthouse in Bishop Street, and then 1 in the courthouse in Strabane. And all tremendous, all good houses, strong responses from the audiences, great work by the cast and crew. And you know, to have the first production of a new play down and look back on it with that level of success is great.
Clearly, you know, when Craigan Enterprises, in partnership with Guildhall Press, developed the Hive Studio, our focus was that we want to look at community art, we want to look at digital technology as the next growth area in terms of building a sustainable and inclusive community.
I would be confident that the people in Craigan Enterprises Limited and the Hive would do other work using artistic practice, be it live performance or digital arts work in their social and economic endeavours.
And we would like to see that we would be involved in maybe similar productions in the future, but also using art as another way of actually building and sustaining local communities.
I tell you, you'll be happy.